I can tell you how and when I walked away, but it wasn't really walking away from the United States. As a Canadian, I walked away from the liberal agenda in Canada, which is like a mirror image of what's going on in the States. Of course, not on the same level, but it's the same thing. The agenda to manipulate and foster and propagate and bombard the public with propaganda to believe a certain thing that is not necessarily true. So, the first time I noticed, um, I've been awake for a long time, but as far as how how this has all evolved for me, because I'm very involved in the United States politics, because there's a lot going on, and what happens in the U.S. happens, or affects the rest of the world quite dramatically. The U.S. really, um, people may think it's the center of the universe, but the arrogance of that thinking is wrong. But technically, you are the center of the universe or the center of the planet, where what happens in the USA affects pretty much the whole globe. And the cabal from America and of course in Canada, um, it was one of those things where we were or are up until Trump directly involved and working with this the Clintons, the Bushes throughout history. And at the moment, I haven't been in Canada for 10 years. I live in the Caribbean. I work in the Caribbean and live here, and what I see going on makes me want to never go home ever again. And I see the people here. I talk to many of the people here because I am a white man, and I talk and I ask the locals here, and of course this is a very small island where I am. It's very you know um, picturesque, quiet, slow, beautiful turquoise waters, and I see them all watching CNN and CSNBC. Is that how you say it? Yeah, and just always that one side of the news. And I ask them, and I say, so what do you think of Trump? And many of them will just cringe. And I, and the first thing they'll say is, he is racist. And it is a very hard road to try and work through that with people here, because as a white person, I have to tread lightly, of course. Very respectful. I'm actually blessed to be here. The people are beautiful, but I I always worry that as soon as I say, well, have you considered that that's all lies, and Trump really isn't what he says, and they get this sideward glance, like, so you're a Trump supporter, and it saddens me because really, Trump is a person who has worked his ass off to try and get the respect of the black community, and seeing how badly it affects the rest of the world and how it affects the Caribbean and God knows where else, how people are watching CNN and as news, as what is going on, and they see, and and it it is really quite insane to to say the least, because the manipulation goes far and wide, and it's beyond just America, and even Canadians. I pretty much, I've just, I got so frustrated with the sleeping zombies and the lack of critical thinking from birth, how people have been conditioned to believe a certain thing and cannot. It's like, it's almost like their brain has been rewired, that they can't think outside the conditioning that, has been forced upon us through years of abuse, really. Um, there's so much that we're not being told, so much deception, how people can't see beyond the fact of what the the Democrats and Hillary Clinton and this cabal and the Bushes and how JFK was assassinated and all that stuff, and people just like look through it like it's not even there, it's invisible, and they don't want to hear it. It's like they blank out. So I've got so frustrated with it. I've gotten rid of my channel. It was growing. This is a different channel. I was at one point Alex Treasure Hunter, and the negativity and the racism and all of it. It just, I had to get rid of it all. I got rid of Facebook. But the one thing people need to remember is don't hide from it. Watch, pay attention, and keep keep uh, keep yourself informed. And at some points, it's almost comical because it's when you eventually become awake, you can look and you can see, and it's almost like an insult to your intelligence because you just read through it. It's like how are people believing this? It's almost like you're on a different planet once you wake up. It's a nice place to be. It's like being reborn, really. And for me, it's like a high when I see people. I see people like with this movement, which is one of the greatest things ever. I see people that are awake, and it's like, wow, hey, welcome to your new life. And it's time, the time is now for people to just say, we're taking back this planet, we're taking back our right for free thought, we're taking back it all. It's like we are no longer going to be lemmings, we're no longer going to just blindly believe. It's the time's over. And the problem that we're seeing now is people are just getting desperate. These higher ups, Maxine Waters, and even the Canadian Prime Minister, he sickens me what he has done to my country. He has destroyed Canada. He is crooked, like right in bed with the Clintons. He is corrupt as corrupt can be. And my mom she's one of those people, Irish, that came during the potato famine. Well, her parents did, and they used to call those ships coffin ships. These coffin ships, they came, and the majority of the people were dead by the time they got here. They struggled, they worked their asses off in fishing communities on the East Coast. And to this day, they have nothing. They have nothing. They're given shit. The town she grew up, there was a company, mainly the one that's pretty much people will know is Alcan, and I won't get too far into this, but they took all these Irish from thriving fishing communities and paid them well to go work in the mines. And the long story short is all the men in that whole peninsula died and left, families with 13 kids, all to fend for themselves. And to this day, they're still struggling with the emotions of that. It was the greatest, case of industrial disease in Canadian history. And it's brushed under the carpet. Same with the residential schools with the natives. Most people, up until recently with the net, didn't even know that up until the 70s, these schools were taking children from their families while they're eating dinner, and just the shit that's going on is sad and pathetic. And here my mom fought her whole life, came to Canada, or her parents came to Canada, struggled, and she can't even afford to eat. She won't take money from me. She's too proud. And this whole immigration policy, and don't get me wrong, my dad was an immigrant. Immigrants should become, but we can't open borders. We can't just say come all, come yay. We can't afford it. Nobody can. The time is to stop this manipulation. These crying for these damn kids is just a joke. They don't give a shit. Maxine Waters, most corrupt person in history, millions in assets and houses, and pretending she gives a shit about the kids. This is all a joke. We are waking up, and it isn't just Americans, it's Canadians, it's all kinds of people. And this is why the Fords, who I know personally, and what you think of them is irrelevant. It doesn't mean shit. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it in the comments. These are guys that are like Trump. They are throwing out something that appeals to people. Something that is like, hey, I could sit and throw some darts, watch a hockey game, and have a beer with this guy. That's what people want. They don't want some fucking asshole, uptight person in a suit telling you what is good for you and what is good for your country when they sit in their little castles on the hill and their gated communities and claiming these refugees in cages, which was all we all know. I don't need to repeat what everybody's repeating, was it during the Obama years. But the fact of the matter is, we should be worrying about the real refugee camps, which are the ghettos in America and even in Canada, where since slave days, these ghetto refugee camps are still in existence. Let's face it, the ghettos are refugee camps. And we're worried about other people's kids. It's time to worry about our own kids. This global bullshit needs to stop. And God bless I'm holding my heart right now, because when I see people waking up, it's like, thank you, Lord. It's, maybe we have some hope here. And no matter what you think of Trump, at least all of this chaos, all of this stuff is bringing people together one way or another. And the Candace, whatever her name is, I can't think of the last name, but the Candace girl, she's going to be considered one of the greatest activists in history. We won't see it now, but our grandkids are going to look back at that girl and say, wow, she was the one that stood up and changed people's way of thinking. It's divide and hate, and hey, we're not going to do it anymore. We're not going to divide. We're not going to hate. We're going to stand up and say, no, we're not believing any of this bullshit. And even the shit we're taught in schools, it don't matter, because you know what? Just because it says in a fancy, well-bound book, it's not true. Half of it's not. None of it's true. Everything they told us was a joke. It was lies. Even the schooling system was adopted from Hitler, how to control the masses. It's all a joke. I could go on and on and on, but I better shut up about it and stop and just end this, because I'm winding myself up. But I want to just say to all the people that are waking up, God bless you. Go out and celebrate and welcome to your new life, because once you wake up, you will be frustrated a lot, because you'll walk down the street and you'll talk to people and you'll want to shake them and go, wake the hell up, wake up, man, wake up. But again, it's just like, wow, it's like instantly you picking things up now. And I will end it with this. What was the biggest thing for me was when CNN, they had originally introduced that article, fake news, and I said to a co-worker at that time, I said, oh yeah, this is great. You watch. I said, you watch what this is going to be. That's all we're going to hear about. I said, I guarantee you. And it's going to backfire on them badly. And sure enough, what happened? They started the fake news, and it destroyed them. It destroyed them. They are the worst enemy because their cockiness, you know. The original elites, that all this stuff was well thought out, but it was becoming way too easy for them. So they didn't plan, they didn't do, they just figured things just happened for them. It's over. The party's over. And God bless all the awakened. And don't say I don't want to hear it anymore. Pay attention, and just watch people waking up, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. God bless everybody. Cheers. All right, here we are at Hideaway Bay again. I know I'm trying to do a different beach every week, but this has been a couple bad weeks as far as time and issues, but this is Hideaway Bay, very calm today, and I would just like to also send out a happy birthday to my son. I miss him. I miss him a lot. He's my hero. This one's for you, buddy. And anyways, here we are. We're back, and let's talk to Wilma.
Hello.
Hey, Wilma.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
That's good.
This video is special for your son.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I miss you. How are things? Good?
It's okay.
Okay. Okay, well, Wilma, let's do it, and let's see what we can find. We didn't do much of this beach last time, so it's close to your house, and we're pressed for time. So I think that we can just scope this place out a little better, see how it goes. Let's go ahead. We're in Willie Keys, and this is Pineapple Beach Resort. And Willie Keys is pretty much the opposite end of the island. It's a long drive to get here, and it's a beautiful spot. Wilma gave me directions to get here.
We almost got lost.
We almost got lost. How you doing, Wilma?
I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. I think we're due to find something soon, so let's give it a try. Hey, Wilma, what's up? We're trying in the water here because it's pretty calm. So far, nothing, but it's okay. So we'll turn the sensitivity right down on this thing, and we'll see how that goes. It's pretty busy here too. The season's going to be picking up soon. So I guess let's just keep on and see how it goes.
Well clean. It's from 2002.
2002?
Yeah.
My first water hit. Hey, nice. Yeah, that's encouragement. I'm sticking in the water then.
Yes.
That's really good. I just wanted to find something in the water for the first time. Cool. All right. So Wilma, we found another one.
Yes. We got a 2 cent from 2011.
Wow, the water thing's working out. I'm really glad I decided to go in the water. We'll keep on this. It's really nice. 2011?
Yeah.
What did you say it was, a nickel?
No, it's a 2 cent.
2 cent? Okay. Well, we were in the water, and Wilma got a little freaked out because we saw this big fish. And that's very weird for here to see fish like in the sand like this. It's usually, you'll see them out by a reef or something, but it was pretty big. 3 feet. Yeah. You okay? You're not ready to go back in the water yet?
No.
I'm going in. Let's keep at it. It appears that my metal detector got wet, and it's not waterproof as far as the casing goes, and it's going a little haywire right now, so unfortunately this dig is not working well. We're calling it quits. It's gotta have to dry out, I guess. Wilma, you're gonna say goodbye?
And I want to say goodbye and thanks to the fish that were in my afternoon.
It did. A total buzzkill that fish was. You're just like, I'm not going. I'm done.
I wasn't going back in the water.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a buzzkill. It's a little freaky. It was probably just a nurse shark because there's no real bad sharks here in the Caribbean. Yeah, I mean, just the not knowing what it was is always freaky. All right. Thanks for watching, and a special shout out to Juliana Alexandra and her family, and hope all goes well with you guys, and good luck.